Hello, I'm back, and I've been working for a bit. Also, yeah, don't mind the black suit. I was just involved in something recently, and for some reason it's reinvigorated my actual inspiration to play the game. What you see before you is a polar coordinate arm that I was using to mine out some stuff that you probably saw in a time lapse or something. Because, knowing me, the entire last episode I may just turn into a satisfying little time-lapse just because I love you guys. I had like this whole explanation of like how these different arms worked. I still forgot build vision. Oh well. Also, I guess I could put up in the corner of the screen what mods I currently have active, including Splitsy's new version of Rival AI assertive cargo ships, which has me excited, but I have to digress. But yeah, basically you just have all these different arms. You can kind of see very clearly what they do. But the reason why I have these in front of us today is because I want to design something related to this polar coordinate arm that will be capable of carving out swaths of territory so that I can actually build up my base and have like an actual, actually have a base. So these are the different versions of robotic arms. I ultimately went with the polar coordinate arm here. I'm probably not going to build another one. What I'm thinking instead is combining this kind of XY coordinate arm that I have here, like XYZ. I forgot the name of it. I'm not going to use a pick and place, which that's definitely not what it's called, but I'm calling it a pick and place. This is a sideways pick and place. And this is an articulated arm because it's got an elbow like a human does, and not all robot arms have elbows. As you can tell, I do not have a script. I don't do this kind of stuff scripted. So the minor prototype, I have a name for it. Since no one actually was there to, name it, I had to take the liberty myself. And its name is going to be it's going to be an honor. I'm going to call it... It's going to be Fredbert, because I really don't have a better name for it. If you have a name that could challenge the name of Fredbert, let me know. As you can see, the components container has iron ore in it. And in fact, every container that I have that can hold ore is full. Every single container. In addition, I have small cargo containers that are just completely filled as well. So, yeah. And basically, I only have a single refinery processing all of this, so... and it's probably not even processing that resource. I just want to look. It's doing all the stone right now, so it'll take a while before it processes through all that stone and gets all that resources out. But yeah, anyway, as you can see, I have to chew through a lot of storage, and I'm likely going to want to double my storage for what I'm about to test and experiment with, especially since I want to be able to harvest away this huge amount, but I want to do it without using a mining vehicle. Because PAM is great and all, but having something that I could just merge onto my base and carve out an entire wall is more important to me. So yeah. So my plan is going to be fairly simple, and I did not have anything prepared because I You know what? I'm going to make a mock-up here, just something super basic in small grid, and then I'm going to be back just because I want to show off what's going on in my head, and I don't think I can describe it with words. Really, all I need is a way to connect large grid to this, and that I don't actually need to care about what the platform looks like. So the platform itself could be super ugly, but it wouldn't matter because I'll have everything connected together. And my plan is then, if that's the case, then I can actually just do this. Honestly, regular rotor would work just fine, but an advanced rotor base, it'll be harder to have stuff fall off. And it's like the right size. Then what I can do is have a rotor head. I may as well make it an advanced rotor head just for uniformity. So this would be a rotor part, so I'll just do this. That did not sound healthy. Alright. You can see what's going on here. It's like cargo containers over here, then I have my drilling array here, and the idea is that I want to set it up with mechs so that it's capable of drilling a uniform shape, and I think the way I'll do it is I'll have a row of those so that I only have to worry about X and Y and not have to deal with like a Z-axis. Anyway, I've rambled for too long. I'm going to see you once I have actually gotten power on this and stuff and started building large grid components of this. So see you then. Oh my god, this is larger than I thought it would be. Oh well. Alright, you guys probably have guessed that what I've ultimately decided to do. I want to add some wheels to this, and I already got a plan for my largest pair of wheels to go directly between these cargo containers in order to help balance out the weight a little. So my largest wheels will support those. Then I'll have a series of smaller wheels, and the reason is I want to break up the symmetry of this and make it visually interesting. So I want it to kind of bend up and down and arch as it needs to. But in order to actually get the tires there and to get like the height that I need to actually lower this. And then I can adjust suspension as needed for when I want to do the whole rotor connection thing, which I'll work out the mechanism for later, but for in the meantime, I'm removing that. I also got rid of that chair because it was in the way. Anyway, I'm bringing us back here because this is going to either go smoothly or cause clang or kill me or all three somehow, so let's just see. No clang. Good. And then what I can do is just grab all pistons, hit reverse. There we go. So I'm going to have some issues. I'm probably going to further limit the wheel suspension's speed to something super slow. The 2.6, so it's slower than I can walk. And this should be a nice, stable thing. And as you can see, I can rotate in place with tank steering and everything. And I increase the update rate of the script so that I can do this kind of smoothly. And obviously moving backwards lifts my hind wheels. That actually doesn't matter. And I can travel anywhere I want. So now that I'm at this angle, I should actually be capable of doing things. So I'm just going to go and lift this whole thing up. So I'm just gonna jack up again. And I'm probably going to continue work on this after I take a quick break. It's going to be locked. Hopefully that doesn't cause problems. If it does, then I'll have to turn it on. My plan here is I want pistons that can extend up and down. in an elaborate fashion. So my plan here is I'm going to use a connector here because it offers these side panels, as you can see here, and I'm going to set it up. The idea is that I want to have a mechanism which can extend upwards and downwards in such a way that allows the system to easily navigate up and down without ever having the mechanism itself in the wrong place. Haha. Alright. It's slightly unevenly balanced, but that's actually fine. Because of this design, I needed to see where it stood, and it seems like this is perfect. So the very top of this looks perfect. So that's good. So then what I want is a mechanism which also extends downwards a bit. Okay, I'm running into this problem. I'm beginning to quickly realize that I might not be able to fully set up the system the way I'd like. The way I have it, I'm not really going to fully be able to manage that. Because the mechanism that moves up and down is going to stay centered. And so, essentially, where this is mounted, I'm going to have to offset this. Because I have to offset for this entire thing. And I want to compensate for this by having it the opposite piston. But the issue is that I still have to offset for just the midpoint between these two. I don't know, but I was thinking using pistons would be the wisest choice. It's just my problem is that I need to be able to get the thing to work and have the mechanism itself fit inside the hole that it's creating. And that's going to create problems for me. Okay, time to prepare. I'm likely going to die here, but hinge articulator 3 attached. So these two grids are now connected through these things. So hopefully they don't bug out. Hopefully. I'm making huge progress here. I'm at the stage where I think I can get excited. Oh no. Okay. Ah! Okay. There's obvious reasons why I'm reloading for this. Because there's no way that's supposed to happen. All right. I'm less screwed this time. Okay. Oof. Okay, so I see what's going on here. So this is not going to work. This is salvageable, by the way. I can salvage this. But I'm not able to salvage this, so... Ow! Well... Whoa, that's... What? What? Wait. Okay, excuse me. Excuse me. I turned pink. How many times do I have to reload, old man? Yeah, it seems like no matter what I do, I just don't get to have a med bay. So I'm just... okay. Oh my god, what the... I'm guessing I have no med bay anymore. Because usually this means no med... Med bay is fine. It's just destroyed everything else. The problem that I'm running into is I cannot use rotors for this, so I have to use my previous mechanism. Okay, so I did a little bit of time travel. This is a mechanism I have to work with. Great. So this thing, I'm going to have to make sure... So the piston that goes forward and backwards actually should have a fairly low strength, so that I can move at a low speed at a low strength, like a low torque. Look at that, I need a counterweight. Well... I guess I should have, like, another cargo container. Yep, that'll do it. The problem is that the way this mechanism's set up is that I'm going to have to mine forward and across, so I'd have to mine the entire bottom first. I think the idea is sound. What I'll do is... I'm actually going to pause the recording here. And I'm just going to do this off camera. It seems I'm not going to be bothered by any assertive threats. And basically I'll just come back if anything happens, or when I've actually gotten the rest of this concept set up. Alright, I'm back. And as you can see, I have my prototype finished, and it will stay as a prototype for now. There's actually one thing I should add to this prototype, and that's a connector, but, you know what? Yeah, why not? Why not? Let me do this so that I have some extra light, and I'll use my own lighting as well. This vehicle has situational lighting. I don't have any spotlights though. Maybe I'll add a spotlight that goes here, so that I can sort of see, like straight ahead through the drill array. I don't know. So, I guess I should admit something. So I started recording this, and I took such a long hiatus. I hadn't even worked on this episode since that hiatus, until now, of course. So, I've decided to go through and actually finish welding this up, as I said I would, originally. And as you can see, the save has made pretty accurately for what happened. I can turn off my signals, they're a bit messy. So this entire setup should work. Now there is a flaw with it, and that is when the pistons are fully extended, the center of mass is so badly offset that it tilts. But that's not actually a problem. As you can see, this is part of my solution to that problem. Now I actually want to move this back a bit. So yeah, actually is there a way for me to like select that? I don't think there is there? I don't remember. I think there is a way for me to do that, and I just don't remember. It's been such a long time. But basically, I set up a rotor, and it's just a regular rotor head, and I rotate it so you can sort of see that line. I rotate it so it's facing away from the direction I want to be facing. I'll place one down here, and I'm just going to connect up. And I made this process super simple. I'm going to lower myself and hit 5. Now if I were to jump back here, that timer runs constantly trying to attach. And if I just scoot forward slowly, yeah, it's a little scary, but I'm connected. Now I'm also going to have the drills. I want to have like the block tools for the drills. Okay, that way I can hold right click or left click. I'm actually going to move that here. And what I'm going to do is take the PP for mechs, and I'm going to wait. I need to program this. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this. So let me turn this timer back on. I'm locked. Okay, so now I'm locked down. And as you can see, it's suspended just ever so slightly above where it should be. I'm actually going to grind this rotor part down. And then start dig. Okay, so I've programmed the sequence. So now I'm just going to watch it and see if it does what I want it to do. And if not, then I can go into the custom data and actually adjust some of those values. So specifically what I want to see is that this piston extends, like as though we're mining. And it's a relatively slow process. And then what happens is when it reaches the end, it retracts back quickly, and then it raises up another layer, and then extends again. Oh, it's already retracting. I got distracted. Now it's doing the next stage. Now it's extending again. Once it reaches that point, it will start extending again. It seems I need to make it a little bit more precise. So I gotta change its settings. It's not strict enough, it seems. So train E-stop. And that's just going to be here. And so E-stop is just this one, and it's just recording the final bit of that. Start dig. And as weird as this sounds, start E-stop. So now, if I press 3, it will go through the extension process, and if I press 4, it'll retract. Piston extension, that's 0.1. I want that to be negative 2.5. I'm just gonna copy this here. And that'll just, and if I recompile that, then it's base thing. So if, for example, my pistons are all reversed at like high speed, like this, then what I can do is, if I press the dig thing, it'll retract and do everything at the rate it's supposed to. I'm actually going to hit 4 so that it's going to instead just retract and stop. Since I'm running it from this script, it's actually not outputting to display. It only does that if it's like on the thing. Okay, it seems like I got this all set up. So I'm going to need to turn this around. Best way to do that would be to just hop in here. Let's just turn off our headlights. Don't need those anymore. I need to actually grab this. I have to be careful. I am damaging it by doing it this way. Okay. Turn dampeners off. Turn them back on. Let's just lock This thing has been moved. It really does need its batteries to be recharged though. I can't leave this area until I recharge those batteries. This thing needs to have its own like museum. It needs to be a museum piece. How close can I get to this? I don't think I can turn around. I don't have enough space. So how do I do this? So I'm running into a problem here. I can't get this thing around. I'm going to have to actually dismantle stuff, I think. I think that's the only option I have, is to just dismantle this and then move it back. So I'll just move it.
Inventory full.
Alright. And I should probably move my assembler too. And I'll move it here, because it makes sense to. Yeah, this stuff though definitely needs to be put away, and then this assembler needs to go. And that should give me some clearance to actually walk about. Alright, so that's all moved. I should have space now. Alright, let's see if we can rotate. This is the reason why I have the tank steering, because then I can just do this. It's a lot bit easier to maneuver a big vehicle like this. I think this is the closest I can get. Alright. Then just move forward just a tad. Rotate just enough to do this. There we go. This is where I want to be. And so now I'm going to jack up and find this point. I'm going to get the equivalent, and then I'm just going to add a rotor part. Well, looks like this is going to be the point. I'm gonna do this. This part's going to freak me out. Let's lower. And save, just to be safe. Yes. Yes, I'm locked on. Amazing. Yes. That was easier than I thought it would be. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I need to go to here. I'm going to hold right click and enter the inventory and out. And now that I'm holding right click, essentially, I can start drilling. Hit 3. There we go. How about that? Actually worked. And look at this. Harvested out a significant portion of terrain. It also appears that I cut a little bit into the ceiling. So I wonder if I should be using the regular dig. Well, that's pretty good. Alright, look at that. Made a new extension. Just like that. That took like no effort. I'm happy. And this obviously has messed with things a little. I lose a little bit of the ice sheet above. And I can probably improve that, but one of the things I might want to experiment with is possibly deleting the resources. This happens to be in the right position. I could have like a conveyor port that goes down and a connector which ejects. So I could have an ejector here and then have like a couple rows of thrusters, and then those thrusters would be able to burn off the stone while keeping the ice. And that's one possibility. But another one is just like, I just want to see how much ore do we get when I do this. Is this okay? I hope it is. Okay, so Clang has taught me that I shouldn't put the rotor part here. I should put the rotor part here so that I have some space. Let's try this. There we go. So always have at least one block of clearance between blocks. And let's turn that off. And let's just hit 8, turn it on normally, and then what I want to do is hit 3. And how about that? This thing should continue to work. That's honestly not enough space though. I'm probably going to have to expand out by going out this way across this entire face, which means moving a bunch of stuff around as I work. I just want to see how much stone are we going to collect here, and should I have like some sort of setup? I'll probably do this next episode. I won't do it this episode, but I want to see. We're collecting stone. We are collecting stone at a pretty fast rate too. My question though is, will we collect ice? As you can see, this area is getting mined away completely, and it's mining that little bit of ice. The ice is something that I want to keep though. But the stone is definitely something I want to get rid of. They have a bunch of stone here and a little bit of ice. It's making this whole thing heavier, which is going to affect its center of balance. But if I only want to keep ice and stuff that isn't stone, set that up. Alright, let's just appreciate this thing in its glory. There we go. And it's finished. Great. So I'm just going to turn off these drills then. And voila! Alright, so now I have this boring machine. I'm going to go ahead and do the next episode now, and odds are it'll start with a time lapse of me just going through the process of mining this out. It'll be really silly. I'll probably also add more lighting to stuff as well. But the idea of using a machine like this to mine while I go and do other things is pretty attractive to me. That I can store up the ice, which I can later use some sort of connection assistance to pull the ice from. It'll be great. So I'll see you then.